Guys, this is going to be like a chatty mid-month update. It is January 14th already, and this is actually the first time that I've picked up my camera to film it all. My baby is here trolling around in the background, so that's probably going to be a little bit of a distraction, but I got to get this video filmed and up tomorrow because I want to stick to my pattern of like one video every 2 weeks, which is what I can manage. So I have like a hodgepodge of things to chat about, and let's just like dive into the first thing. You guys, I am losing hair, okay? Like I'm getting, you can't really see it in this angle, maybe you can, I'm getting like little bald patches here, and I genuinely wonder if it's from, because it's been 3 months now since my miscarriage, and also like the all-consuming chaos of the perinatal anxiety I had. And they say that stress can cause hair loss, and usually it's like 3 months after the event. I haven't noticed my hair falling out, but then again, I always just wear it up in a bun. But like when I shower and everything, I'm not finding my hair just falling out. But the weirdest thing, even my eyelashes are falling out. I sat down at work and I had like, I could see like I had a loose eyelash, you know, so I just like pulled it out, and like 7 other eyelashes came out with it. And I'm like, the fark? So I started just like gently, you know, doing this, and my eyelashes were just falling out. I don't even get it. I just recently had blood work done a couple of weeks ago, and everything was totally normal. My iron was normal. My vitamin D was really high. It was 115 something over something. And like apparently 120 or more is clinically like dangerously high of vitamin D. I don't know. I stopped taking my vitamin D supplement. It's not like I take a huge supplement, but I live in the North Pole and I literally never go outside and I don't get sun exposure. So I just take a standard vitamin D supplement. So I stopped taking that, and my cobalamin was super high, and it's been super high. My cobalamin was like 800, whatever the units are, and it's not supposed to be higher than 650 or something. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, but I am just truly hoping, like you can see my postpartum, I had really bad postpartum hair loss after having my last baby. I've had it just like the standard amount after my first 2 kids, but after Benny, oh my God, like I had full on, if I can find pictures, I'll put it up here. I had full on receding hairlines, and then I had just a ton of wisps, and now my wisps are almost gone. So unfortunately, 2 years of hair regrowth, I think, has fallen out. Plus I'm starting to lose some here. I just think it's stress and maybe hormone related. If you guys have had like a 10-week miscarriage type thing, 10-week miscarriage type of situation, let me know if you also went through postpartum hair loss with that, because all my other miscarriages were chemicals. So my body hardly had a chance to recognize that it was pregnant before it wasn't pregnant anymore. So I didn't notice anything postpartum-y happen to me. But there's that. Just like with my mid-month video last month, Aunt Flo came at the beginning of this month, and I got chaotically sick. I have been sick for 14 days now. I don't know if you can hear, I'm still so congested. It was a head cold, and then it turned into a chest cold, and then it turned back into like a crazy sinus infection. So I think I got hit with like back to back different bugs. I finally feel today like I'm sort of on the uptrend back to being healthy. And I actually only missed 1 workout day, but my other workout days I've been modifying. I've been working out from home, this and that, whatever, because I didn't want to be like contagious or anything. But I did go to the gym a couple days last week. I'll like pop up some videos here because it's really the only content I have to share in this video. This first video right here is me trying out a sissy squat machine, and no one was at the gym on this day, and so I filmed it with the purpose of posting it to the Women Who Lift Weights Facebook group, because I find them to be a good resource for me to get like form checks. It's funny because working out from home, I've had very limited access to equipment and weights and this and that. So I've just had to make do with what I had. But now I have like access to all kinds of things at the gym. But it's one thing to be very familiar with the exercise and what the form should look like and how it should be done, whatever, and a completely different thing when you're doing it and you're like in your body doing it. I can't have like an out of body experience to like witness what it looks like in 3D when I'm doing something. I was doing it completely wrong. I watched some tutorials and they were like, make sure, let's go back to that video, make sure the back of your thighs touch the padding, like that's how far you want to go down. But I didn't realize I was hinged forward so much. Apparently you're supposed to like sit right back into it, like keep the 90-degree angles. But then when I posted this video to the Women Who Lift Weights group and I asked them for form tips, some personal trainers came on and they were like, my honest opinion is that gyms absolutely should not ever have this piece of equipment. I have seen so many people blow out their knees because they've done it improperly or they've loaded it too much and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, still learning, you know. So I have written sissy squats out of my quads day and I have replaced them to the deadlifts. I also filmed myself. These are just 2.5 kilo bumper plates. Do not look at them and give me any kind of credit. They are literally filled with air. Okay, they're like children's pool floaties attached to this barbell. And the only reason I put them on was to get the bar in like the right, just like the right construction for how I just wanted to get like the look and feel of it because I'm trying to familiarize myself with barbell deadlifts. I never had enough room really to do barbell lifts and I also lacked the weight plates in my own home gym. And so for the longest time, years and years, almost 4 years, I've been doing single leg dumbbell deadlifts. But I just want to try new things and I can't get the form right. So I filmed this and posted it in the Facebook group and the advice I got was hinge, 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 hinge. And also that these aren't deadlifts, they're Romanian deadlifts. I'm sure it's a faux pas. I've just been calling deadlifts no matter what they are. If they're standard deadlifts or Romanian deadlifts, whatever. And that's just me being lazy. But it is so hard without a trainer or someone who's like really knowledgeable in what they're doing, who can just like kind of like, no, tweak this and do this. And you hear all these pointers in Facebook groups, like make sure you're squeezing oranges between your armpits when you're, you know, doing this and all these like little things. The one piece of advice I got for my deadlift form here was pretend you're putting down grocery bags and trying to close your car door with your butt. And I'm like, okay, that's oddly relatable. So like, I just really need a trainer, but I'm never going to be able, like we have so many other things in our budget that we need to take into account that I just can't get a trainer. So I'm so sorry that all of this must be super boring to you guys. What else did I want to say? I guess the last thing I'm going to touch upon in this video before it gets too long is I want to talk about my goals real quick. I've got 2 more weeks left in January, 2 more weeks left in my diet before it's the end of the diet. And this is the first time in my whole entire life that I am not only willing to go into a bulk, but I'm so excited for it. And I think it's because I feel the crushing weight of perimenopause coming after me. And since I've wholeheartedly made the decision that we are no longer having any more kids, like I'm 100% body, mind, heart, soul done with having kids, I have thrown myself into the world of menopause and perimenopause to try to get myself in the best position now, as educated as I can be, coming to terms with what I can expect, what can I do, like just getting my head around the debate of hormone replacement therapy and, you know, just like what kind of blood tests can I do now before it becomes apparent that I might be going into some sort of menopausal, perimenopausal thing. What kind of blood tests can I do now to establish my own baseline? And how can I improve upon that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just completely obsessed with it. I have found this podcast called Hit Play Not Pause, and I just started from the beginning, and it's amazing. And I've joined her Instagram community, and there's a couple other people on Instagram that have been recommended to me that I'm starting to follow, and it feels so big, and the whole thing is so like, listen, The way I feel about menopause is the way I feel about pushing a baby out. Like you get to that point and you're like, nope, I just don't want to do this. I am not going to do this. I am going to Benjamin Button my butt back in time. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do menopause. Where's the pill I can take that will just allow me to have my periods forever? I'm so sorry, Aunt Flo, that I gave you so much shit throughout my life, because now every time I get my period, every time I ovulate, every time I see like fertile signs, I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like my body's still alive. The furnace is still going. I don't know when the next time is going to be that all of a sudden I don't have a regular menstrual cycle. And as I've come to learn, that's not even the first sign of perimenopause. Like other shit can go down before your cycles even go irregular. And I feel like, as I've learned about perimenopause, I feel like a lot of the things that I have recently felt an uptick in my body, for instance, crazy anxiety, how about like just being like fairly dry down there? I've always said these are things I'm used to. Night sweats, vivid dreams. I've said it in all of my TTC videos. These are things I'm used to. Since I've been tracking my cycles over the past decade, I've noticed these things occur more and more the older I get. This is just normal for me. What if it's not normal for me? What if, like, I suffer from a low libido, but I just, I've always blamed it on my thyroid. Or maybe that's just me, because it's only been since I was 31, 32 that I've really started to track my cycles, track all my fertile signs, pay attention to this kind of stuff, because that's when we were trying to conceive my first baby. And then I've just sort of been in the spin cycle ever since. So I've been very hyper aware of my body. And so I've just sort of assumed that all the things I've been dealing with through my 30s are just normal for me. Yeah? Oh my gosh, look at that. Go play with it. But what if they're not? And this insane amount of anxiety and insomnia and everything I've been dealing with, particularly since I had Benny. At first I thought it was just a postpartum thing, and maybe it was, and maybe it's like a combination of factors, but I'm starting to wonder, what if this is my body's version of Perry, you know? Yeah? Okay, come, you want to make a cameo? Come here, uppy. And so I talked to my mom, and I asked her, I'm like, look, most of these websites and stuff say 45 to 50 is the range that perimenopause hits. When did it happen for you? She goes, I was 40 years old and 3 months. And I went from having regular cycles to all of a sudden only one every 3 months. And within 12 months, my periods were gone. By the time she was 41 and 3 months old, she was fully menopausal. And I'm like, I turned 40 and 3 months in January. You know, like this is the age it all went down for my own mom. And then she said that for her mom, my grandma, nobody knows because she needed a full hysterectomy in her early 40s because she had like crazy heavy bleeding. I think she had like a cyst or a fibroid or something. And back in those days, you have issues with your uterus. They took everything out. So she was medically put into menopause. So there was no like data about how it went down for my grandma. So if they say it's hereditary, I'm over here quaking in my boots thinking, I thought I had 5 years to do a bulk, put on some good muscle mass, and then a cut to lose the body fat before my hormones went sideways, and all of a sudden this is going to become very difficult for me. And now you're telling me that I'm a ticking time bomb now. It could happen any day, like next month I might not get a period. I'm still waiting to get a positive ovulation test. Like it should have come today. I haven't tested yet today. So I don't know. And so I'm doing this deep dive into menopause, and I'm just trying to set myself up as well as I can. Like, what if this hair loss, oh my God, you guys, what if this hair loss I'm having is peri, right? Hold on, buddy, I'm reaching. Oh. So I'm sort of having a little bit of a crisis, but I feel like I've been given the gift of time to wrap my head around this next stage coming up and allowing myself to reframe it into something powerful, allow myself to define myself and identify with things before my fertile years are naturally like taken away from me and I'm facing a host of symptoms and like dodging bullets like the Matrix. Like, how are we going to fix all this? going down. Anyway, to let that lead into my goals, one of my goals is to try to become as good of an expert into menopause as possible this year for myself, and to make as many adjustments as I can. Like, for instance, on that podcast, they were saying that menopausal women, it's really good for them to do high intensity interval training. Why don't I know that acronym? So I've been doing steady state walking as my cardio, but I have been wanting to do a little bit more cardio just because I'm at the end of my diet, and also I love it. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. You don't ever have to do the menopause, do you? My husband calls it the mental pause. Another funny thing I've heard it referenced to as the menopocalypse. Oh my god. Anyway, so I've been doing this like steady state walking as like my form of cardio. Anyway, I've started doing sprints. Just this past week, I started doing 10 minutes of sprints. And oh my god, I love it. I love the effect it's had on my body. I just feel so good. I don't feel as hungry, strangely. I feel a lot of mental clarity. I get this great endorphin boost, like just mega happy hormones to the max. So that feels really nice. So I'm like trying to incorporate these things now into my diet. I'm looking into supplements. I'm looking into like getting magnesium on board into my body. And but anyway, so menopause. But here's the thing. I want to do a bulk this year. I am on the tail end of my cut, and then I'm going to spend a month or two reversing to get my metabolism revved up. And then I want to do like something very, very simple, like 150 to 200 calorie maximum surplus each day, and just kill it in the gym. But I feel like my life is on the line now because I have this undetermined amount of time left before my hormones are going to make building muscle so difficult. So I feel that pressure on me. It's kind of motivating. But on the other end, it's also really scary because I'm afraid I'm going to spend a year, 18 months, whatever, building. I'm going to put fat on during that process. If I do it right, I'm going to be gaining weight. I'm so scared somehow in this process, I'm going to start going into menopause, and all of a sudden, I'm not going to be able to lose the weight. Because that's like the thing. You go through you go through menopause, everyone says you gain weight, it's so hard to lose weight, the things you were trying before don't work. I'm trying to learn everything I can now, because apparently if you tweak diet, if you treat yourself as insulin sensitive or whatever, and you do this certain type of cardio, and obviously building muscle mass is a really good thing, you'll be able to work with your body, and supposedly like there's a way to deal with it, but I'm just scared, I'm scared that I'm in this do or die. I've got to build, I have to gain weight, but what if I can't get it off? What if I go through peri and menopause or whatever? Anyway, so this video is long enough, but my short-term goals for this year, number 1, become a menopause expert. Number 2, I want to commit to a 12-month bulk, which means I'll probably be ending it in March of 2025. And I'm so excited to document that here because I've never done it before, and I'm so eager. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get the energy and put it in the gym and really lift heavy now that I'm at a gym and I have access to all these things. I can't reach it, my little love. I'm really sorry if this video is loud. But we got like the whole setup here. We've got dump truck, we got a rifle, we've got what do you guys call these in English? Perler beads. But mixed in to keep me on track with lifting, I want to be able to do 10 pull-ups by the end of this year, and I want to be able to do 20 push-ups. And I really don't know how realistic that is, because right now I can only do maximum 3.5 pull-ups, and really I can only do 2 pull-ups, and then I need a break, and then I can do 1 more, which is sketchy, and that last half rep is being generous. And I can do 10 push-ups. I can do 10 push-ups, but they have to be on a bench at an incline. I don't honestly know how many push-ups I can do on the floor right now because I'm working out so hard that I'm just too spent. Oh my goodness, Benny, to be able to to count how many I can do as a baseline, but I can't do many. Let's just put it that way. They have to be at somewhat of an incline. So those are my goals to keep me motivated. But I gotta go pick up my daughter now from a friend's house. That's where we're at. That's like, in a nutshell, in a 22-minute and 57-second video. That is the mania going through my head. So lots of things to stress about right now. Lots of things to follow up on and track. And I'm just very excited to share my experience trying to do what I'm trying to do at this age. For anyone else out there who's an older mom trying to do these things and also trying to learn the things. And please, if you are in that premenopausal, perimenopausal, menopausal demographic, please educate me. Send me your resources. Send me everything that I should be focusing on. What do you wish you had read or researched or did or whatever before it became apparent that you were starting to go through the changes? I'm just so desperate to get as much of a head start as possible because I am a type A control freak, like many of you know. So that's my jam, and I'm excited to share everything I learn throughout this year. But this little man and I, we've got to hit the road. Benny learned how to say a new word today. Benny, can you say baisa?
Da.
Can you say baisa?
Papa.
Baisa?
Papa.
Bais. Can you say bais?
Ba.
Bais.
Bus.
That means poop. Can you say bais?
Bye.
Good job, Benny. Are you a good boy?
Papa.
Papa?
Papa.
I love you guys, and tune in 2 weeks because we're going to do the final weigh-in, final measurements. I'm going to do pre-pregnancy jeans try-on, but not like the regular kind. I'm talking all my pre-pregnancy pants. I found a box in the back of my closet that had all of the pants I moved to Sweden here with. And this is like before I ever had kids. I bought these pants when I was in my 20s. I tried them on yesterday for the first time in 8 years, and they all freaking fit. I am pumped. So we're going to do like a try on and that kind of thing just for the fun of it, because if I do plan on gaining muscle, gaining mass, gaining weight over the next year, I probably won't fit into them ever again, at least not for a while. So we're going to celebrate it. We're going to relish it. We're going to see how this diet went. And then it is on to the building game. Exciting. Terrifying. I'm so scared, but I'm keeping myself accountable here. So love you guys, and I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Okay. Bye.